just eased you into it there.
Indeed.
Without like it's anything too heavy. Now do the introduction.
Welcome to But This Is the Thing, the podcast that features currently 3 of the most insane people you've ever met talking about how dystopian life is. Yay! I am
Hooray.
your somewhat reluctant host, Davy Moo, along with Sneakret, who is apparently drinking something that looks really tasty. What is that?
It's Iron Brew.
Oh my god, I should have known. Of course, it's Iron Brew, the best.
Is it
Knock off
original?
Iron Brew.
Is it
And
the
of
original
course-
one?
No.
It's it's metal potion. Steel concoction.
It's
Timu Iron Brew.
It's Iron Brew from I think Lidl or Aldi.
Love
Very
it.
good.
Love it.
And today, our special guest, Tariyé. You may know her from social media. You should. If you're not following her already, then you're a loser and you need to do it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You're overselling it, but thank you. It's much appreciated.
It's got to be done. I've got to sell you with the confidence of a mediocre white man so that people will do it.
Yay!
So, how are we all?
Tariyé, you go first.
Hanging in there. I've started rehearsals for a play. That's going to be fun. 5 women hanging out in an asylum across time. So one from like Bedlam, one from Blackwell's, one from all over, and Sylvia Plath and Zelda Fitzgerald are also there. It'll be great. And Marsha P. Johnson, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so super excited.
That sounds pretty fun. Secret?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
My uncle fell in a lock. He fell in a canal lock early in the week, and that was the least crazy thing that's happened to me this week. So good. I'm good, generally, but just been a really weird one. Like, I thought that when my uncle fell in a lock, I thought it was kind of a joke. When my sister told me, and I was like, oh, like when the dog fell in the lock. And then she was like, he's in hospital. I was like, oh no, it's actually quite bad. You can't fall down those canal locks. It's actually pretty intense. But he's doing okay. But yeah, it's been one of those weeks where you feel like maybe there's like a little bit of a curse. You know, a curse week where you're like, something's happened. Someone's upset someone. And now all of these odd things are happening. So, but in myself, I'm okay. I'm fine. It's just everybody else. But yeah, I don't know. I'm decently okay in terms of the wider scheme of things, but I haven't seen really any political stuff in the past week either. So I'm looking forward to talking.
Well, just to catch you up, everything's terrible and everything's on fire. You're all caught up.
I was hoping it'd be better by the time I was hoping that maybe if I took a bit of time out, I'd come back and it'd just be okay.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
you thought they would have switched it off and switched it back on, and that would have sorted it.
Yeah, I thought maybe like the trials, the tribulations, maybe someone would be like, "That's actually good now." Is it not? It's not.
So like switching on Sky News first thing in the morning, and it's like, good news, nation! Someone's removed the thorn bracelet from Keir Starmer, and he stopped being evil.
Oh my god, the dream! But
literally,
I mean,
just like.
Maybe
Good news, everyone! Morgan McSweeney doesn't work for Labour anymore.
Oh god,
he's dead.
Theoretically, as a joke in Minecraft.
Yeah.
I would like to iterate that the views expressed on this podcast do not necessarily always reflect.
Everything I swear everyone can get it at the minute. This is why I can't make content at the moment, because every solution that I'm having to everything is they can just get it. I don't care.
It's like, why don't we just melt them? Why don't we just throw them on the fire?
I believe in transformative justice. I believe in abolition. At the minute, I'm in the middle of my hormones. My uncle's fallen in a canal. Get it.
By transformative justice, you mean transforming living people you hate into dead ones?
Into the afterlife, transforming
into
them
ashes.
Transforming them beyond the mortal plane. just moving them along. I'm done with it. But I've taken a little bit of a break from offering political commentary on TikTok.
That is why I ended up taking a break, because like I'd wake up in the morning
It's
and I'd
like,
check my
can get it
comments.
then.
There'd be like the mildest thing of like, I'm not really sure I 100% agree with you on this specific bit of the point
Oh
that you're
my
making. And I'd be
god.
like, well, go fuck yourself then,
Why don't
Simon.
you go to
Like,
hell? Yeah.
No, but it genuinely gets about. I have also been on a slight break from TikTok for this exact reason. Because and also TikTok is such no, I'm sorry, can we swear on here?
yes.
Oh no, no, it's only
Okay.
death threats. Oh,
TikTok is such a messy bitch because it knows that you're trying to like protect your peace and it can sense that you're trying to protect your peace and it can sense that. So what will happen is that it sees who you've blocked and then keeps like feeding you more of what you've blocked, trying to bait you into a reaction, trying to like overwhelm the part of you that can see sense and goes turn it off to
oh,
protect your peace
TikTok.
and goes and you're like, please stop it. Please stop it immediately. But right now, it kind of panics when you've not been on it for ages because it starts trying to give you lots of positive reinforcement. Like, please come back. Please come back.
That's why I've got all
I'm
those
actually
dogs on
lovely,
there.
I swear.
No, this is what's happened to me all this week,
Mm,
like and last week. It's just been
yeah.
horrible. White ladies being horrible because I saw Katie Lamb being horrible about
Mm-hmm.
her cultural coherence thing, and that made me very angry. And I'm also on my period, so I was like, right, 5 minutes, I'm gonna hit you. Basically, was the video, and then the next day another one turns up. I did the exact same thing again, and I had to edit the caption because that person had made a video being like, "Guys, is England safe to visit? Is Manchester safe to visit because of
Oh
immigration?"
my
And
god.
my caption originally said, "If you come to Manchester, I will make sure it isn't safe." And then I was like, "That's actually just a threat. That's not a thinly veiled. That's not like a thinly veiled joke. That is fully just a threat." So I had to remove that. But it's just all week. It's just been like, here's another horrible bitch. Here she comes. Here's another
Oh
one.
my
But
god.
you're right. I've been
Like,
getting dogs now.
have
It
you
knows.
seen like following on from what you said, have you seen the one of that like is it that Swedish lady that's
That's
like that
her.
was walking
That's
around?
her who I
Oh
threatened.
my god. And literally she's like, "Oh my god, what's happened to English European culture?" She says as she's drinking Guinness, a
She's drinking
famously
Guinness.
Irish beer.
It's
And
got
then
to be
doing up
fake.
like, "Oh no, the immigration and the da, da, da." I'm like, "You don't even go here, respectfully.
She's
Fuck
sitting
off.
there. Her hair's like
What
this.
are you doing?"
She's got nothing going on the head. And then she's like, "Oh, I went to the Hogwarts fucking whatever the thing is in Manchester now, the Harry Potter thing." And then
Mm,
she's like filming anyone Asian without their consent to be like, "Wow, this is it." She's 23, but I do feel she deleted the the video that got really big where she was like, "This is
yeah.
England in 2025." But I do actually think she should delete her account. And again, that it's not aligning with my idea of transformative. Anyone can change. I think she should delete her
I
account. I
mean,
think if she does change, she'll be glad to have deleted her account.
in
So
fairness, I completely understand, okay? Right now, I also really want to like violently delete Jimmy Carr.
Yes, please.
that's been
I
an
just really
ongoing
want
one
to
for me.
violently delete him. So many and so many of his ilk. Because right now he's all like, "Oh, Graham Linehan is so brave. Graham Linehan is so brave." And
The,
I'm like,
Oh,
brave for what? Being a transphobic dickhead. Like, where's the bravery?
wait,
yeah.
It's like, oh, it's so brave to kick down at people that everyone is currently lining up to already kick down at. So brave.
so brave
I
of him.
just,
I
I
just like,
agree on the ilk can get it at the minute as well. Jimmy
yeah.
Carr, ilk, Jonathan Ross, get it, don't care. Stephen Fry, is he dead now? I don't know. If he's
no,
not,
he's
get it.
on the celebrity traitors.
No, I thought he was dead.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
I just
Adding to
like,
list of people to get it.
I'm just so bored of hearing how brave these people are. Like, they're espousing a
Mm.
position that is controversial to a lot of us, but is also like bog standard thinking for people who have never had like empathic thought in their lives. The idea that, like, the thing that annoys me the most is like, I don't like talking about Graham Linehan because it's like fucking talking about flying monkeys, like they're gonna come smashing in your window. But like he's been in trouble because he was like, well, I think if you see a trans person in public, you should punch them, and I'm like, hey, that's just expressing straight incitement to violence. And everyone's like, he's so brave. No, it's not. Like, sorry, is it brave that he alienated his family by being such a tosser? Well, I mean, I think that drawing's still a bit flattering, but it's like
Yeah.
people don't understand the reality of what it's like to be a victim of his rhetoric. That's happened to me like a couple of years ago before I got rid of Twitter, before I got taken over by the psychopath. I'd done a tweet that was like, look at this, it's a transphobic person, quoting Mein Kampf at a rally. It was a transphobic person quoting from Hitler's book. And I was like, that's not good, is it? And he quote tweeted me and put, all trans activists like David Moo know how to do is lie. And I was like, it's literally the truth, you fucking dollop. And since then, all of 3 weeks ago, I think it was, Joanne Rowling, with like a Jewish person, was like, oh, like, so what you think, like free speech, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, quoted a bit out of fucking Mein Kampf. And I'm like, guys, could you stop reading the crazy genocide guy's book and then thinking that it's got some fucking wisdom in it, please?
I know.
She's
this is
all of them can get it. I don't know. Yeah,
they genuinely can.
Graham Linehan looks like a cartoon. He's like the I've said before. He looks like the example of the twits, where they have
And the
like
thing
good
is,
people and the bad people.
oh
He
my
looks like a
god,
bad
you're
guy,
right.
evil from the
You're
inside out.
right.
Always looking like that, going around everywhere. And he's like, my wife left me because of the trans people. It's like, I don't think that's why, Graham. I think it's because you
Right,
look
this
like
is
an
the
evil
thing.
twit.
This is the thing. He's like, people are like, oh, feel bad for him. His family left. It's like, well, of course they fucking left. The derangement syndrome got to be too much. Anybody would leave.
He was dressing up as a woman to take photos so he could try and get on lesbian dating sites to prove a point. Can you imagine? You'd come in, if I came into the room and my husband was doing that, and I was like, "Why are you doing that?" And he was like, "I'm trying to get back at the trans people." I'd be like, "This has got to be over."
Yeah,
exactly. Like when you should be at home parenting your children.
That's
we
just
can't
it.
continue with this.
He's like, they took away my children. You spent like fucking 10 hours a day sat on Twitter going, ugly trans active. Like maybe like when it was your kid's birthday and you were sat in a corner going, I'm just having a go at the trans people. Maybe that is actually why your family left and not because trans people.
Right? I just have this image of like his children going, "Daddy, Daddy, read me a story. Daddy, play with me. Daddy, I got good grades in school. Not now.
Yeah,
Not now.
A
like, trans person might be self-actualizing."
No, he'd be like, here's a story. Once upon a time, a trans person. Ah! The end.
There was a family and they lived in a no. It's not. He's absolutely. Anyway, yeah, can't stand him. Can't stand the ilk. All of them are just. But I really don't even know if anybody actually supports them in that. Like, I don't mean it in the sense that they don't have power, because they do. But it sort of feels a bit like with like Keir at the minute, or with almost any of the politicians except for one that we'll talk about later. They're all. I feel like they're almost brazenly resentful of everyone who's normal now.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Carr's been I've wanted him to get it since he's basically had that laugh, like thing. That's enough for me. And then not paying his taxes. Get it. Anyone can. But he's, I feel like all of them at the minute, it's like they're literally just Taylor Swift, openly hating everybody. Like, anyone who's ever commented on anything on the internet, she's like, you're the problem. Like, it's
that's
so
exactly
bizarre.
what it is. Like that's exactly what the problem is. It's that they have this like seething resentment for regular people, regular folk, anybody that dares call them on anything. It's as if they like it's like they resent being famous in the time of the internet when so much of their audience has much more access to them. Yeah. It's like they long for the old days of fame where you couldn't hear what everybody thought, where you couldn't hear what the audience thought, where you couldn't hear or see how the audience was kind of split according to whatever it was you put out. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, we're seeing this with like so many comedians when like people are like, oh no, it's really hard being a comedian now. It's like, is it? Or do you just resent the fact that people can shout back at you and tell you, hey, fuck you, that's a shit joke?
Oh,
like because because before the internet, people would just chat about it amongst themselves and that was it. You'd never hear, right?
Mm.
Now, anybody on Twitter or wherever can just be like, yeah, so I saw this joke, I didn't much like it. I chatted with my friend, they also didn't like it. And then now those people can find themselves across the internet anytime that person gigs and be like, yeah, he did that joke as well here, didn't really like it, etc., etc., etc.
I
And
No.
it's just like a seething resentment of how dare you peasants
Oh my
dare
god.
opine on anything I have given you.
I'm just trying to find out who it was. I went to go and see a comedian. Me and my boyfriend went with a couple of our friends recently. Um, who was it? I thought it was in the diary, but it isn't. Um, but we went to go and see this comedian, and
Is he
some
like
of his
famous? Is it a famous
he's like
person or
reason he's been
someone
on
like up
TV.
and coming?
He's been on TV. Yeah, he's quite an old hat comedian. He's an Irish comedian. Um,
Mm.
I can't see
Jimmy
it. It's not
Carr.
in the diary. It's not Jimmy Carr. But we went
What
to
do
go
you
and
look
see him.
like?
Generic white guy. Generic middle-aged white guy.
All right.
But
All
we
right.
we went to see him at this at Leeds City Varieties, and some of his stuff was like reasonably funny. It was like, oh, families are crazy out there. I was like, haha, yes, my family is also crazy, and stuff like that was funny. And then there was this bit where he was like, oh, I feel so sorry for transgender people because it must be so difficult for them. No, no, no. And I was like, please don't do what I know you're gonna do. And he was like, but did you know at a school in America there was someone that identified as a cat? And I was like, it's not true. Literally was like, I'm gonna actually fucking throw myself at the stage and kill you. It's not
Right?
true. It's literally being
Oh
investigated as
God.
nonsense. And it's when they do this thing of like, I I'm accepting of some things, but some things go too far. And I'm like, yes, your imagination.
You must go further.
All the time.
That's another one
All
who
the
can
time.
get it. I was going to say, there's a video. It's the We Saw That podcast, where they were talking about the comedian thing, and they were saying they were saying it's the way that basically these comedians at the minute, the ones that if you're good at what you do and you want to do things better, like you like a bit of a challenge, and they were saying that a lot of the comedians right now they've been driving on like a straight open road, and like
Yeah.
now that the road's got like corners or twists, it's like they say you don't know how to drive. It's not that you're like the road's getting impossible for you. You just don't know how to drive. And there's other people who can drive around and who can navigate the humor in a funny way. You just can't. You've been playing it on easy mode, and now
Oh my
nobody
God.
cares about your jokes. Like,
No, but oh my God, this is the thing, right? Like this is what really rustles my jimmies about it. It's that
what's that?
like so many of them, yeah, it's that they got used to everything on easy mode. It was just there, it was easy. And the thing is that only lasts as long as like the audience doesn't get wise to it or doesn't get smarter. The problem is that the audience is getting smarter. They're reading more, watching more, listening to more, getting exposed to so much more just by dint of like being on the internet or being exposed to all of these things, right? So now you got to work harder for the laughs and they hate it. Like like
Mm,
again, lamenting the old days before people were exposed to all of this, reading all of this, seeing all of this, being in community with all these different kinds of people, you
yeah,
know?
it's not lean
And
Mac.
right, exactly. And also, the thing I really can't stand with comedians is how they kind of want to have their cake and eat it too. So many of them want to do this thing of, oh, we're challenging the status quo. We're the philosopher kings. You know, we can really step to power. Da 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 da. Da. Oh, except all of my jokes are reifying the status quo. All of my jokes are, oh, haha, let me shit on this person that everyone's already shitting on. And it's
Mm,
like, where's the thing? And also, everyone loves doing this thing of, oh, well, you know, the only person that can really tell the king what's what in the court is the jester. And I'm like, babe, if the jester really had power like that, he wouldn't be in the room.
that's well, where's the? Oh my god. Sorry, Davey. How are you?
Oh,
Yeah, how are you?
oh, now you care. Now we're
I'm
20 minutes in. Um,
I'm really sorry. I realized
Sorry,
as we
babes.
were talking about it, I was like, I didn't ask Davey how he was.
um,
Sorry.
it's like it's.
You
I
did.
try to explain this a lot. Like I took a little bit of time to myself after I moved in the house because like this is how weird life is. I like everything felt great, and I knew that I was having a depressive episode, and I've managed to get on top of it quite quickly. Like I've got it fairly under control. I'm like doing all the stuff I know helps, like stopping the bad thoughts. But my God, I was like, come on, I'm finally in a situation where I can take my foot off the gas a bit and relax. And my body's like, have everything's terrible and everyone hates you about it. And I'm like, cheers. Yeah, cheers. So
How
yes,
about
I
we
am
relax
okay. It's
all the way?
it's like I think the big thing that really helped me was putting social media into perspective again. I go through these phases where social media is this like silly thing that I do on my phone and I don't take it seriously. And I'm like, here's some thoughts I've got. And then people see it. And I'm like, yes, indeed. I'm glad that you agree. Or thank you for conjecturing with me. I didn't think about it that way. And then other times I'm like, everyone must
They're getting
agree
it.
with me about the terribleness of the world. And then everyone's
They're
suddenly
absolutely
like,
getting it regardless.
yeah, and then it's like because you're in that mood of like everything's bad and I really need to realize, and people on the internet are like, well, actually, I want to slightly disagree with what you've said. I'm like, listen, print out what you said, roll it up, and shove it up your ass because I don't fucking care, right? So taking a bit of time away from that and just putting it back into the social media is a silly thing that could disappear in 5 minutes and it doesn't matter box has really helped.
Mm,
Yeah, that's. I think from the
yeah.
sounds of what you've just said, it was a good idea to take a pause.
Yeah, it got to the point where
Yeah.
like I did that video where that what's her name? Tilly, the debater that debated Charlie Kirk. I did that
Oh yeah,
video
yeah, yeah.
when I did that video where I was like, look, like no offense, I'm sure you're a fine person and stuff, but like I don't think that what you do helps at all. I think that you further the narratives that these people have. And you're sat there going, I'm so smart because I argue with people on the internet and I make well robust arguments. And I'm like, the crazy people are winning though. And it's because you guys share a platform with them and they attract more crazy. So maybe don't do that. And then I had
Yeah.
her and all of her little friends in my comments being like, I think you're mean and nasty. And I'm like, maybe it's not about whether I'm being mean or
You can
nasty.
get
Maybe
it as
it's,
well.
yeah, maybe it's about, like, maybe I'd be nice if you guys weren't actively causing harm with your bullshit, you know? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick,
Right?
but you guys cause real harm and you're not
Nah, but
accepting that.
genuinely, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, I would be so much nicer if you showed a willingness to even try and think it through for like 2 seconds
Mm
and
Mm,
get it.
hmm. Mm hmm.
But you don't because they keep thinking that the thing to win is the argument, is the we're here face to face, we're going back and back and forth, this is what's to win. It's like, no babe, those people win the minute you let them in and
mm,
even entertain any of it. They win the minute you let them in the doors of Oxford or Cambridge Union. The minute
mm.
you allow them people in the doors to even speak, that's it, they've won, because they crave legitimacy. And you have to remember, these people are fucking losers and failures. They couldn't cut it in the halls of academia. Like, Charlie Kirk was like, wasn't he a community college
He
dropout?
was.
Couldn't fucking cut it on his best day. Couldn't step to people like this. Couldn't step to them on his best day.
I
And
can't.
you lot want to welcome him in and act as if he's on the same fucking level. It's like, no, hon, you haven't won anything.
Exactly.
I
There
can't.
was did you see that thing that AOC said to Riley Gaines yesterday? I was fucking dying.
Nah, what did she
So
say?
Riley Gaines was like, there are people trying to
Is there
break
video?
America apart. No, no, because it's a tweet. But Riley Gaines
Ah, okay.
like tweeted out a video of like AOC and Bernie Sanders and blah blah blah. And she put, there are people working to destroy our republic from within. And AOC quote tweeted it and put, maybe if you put this energy into racing, you wouldn't have come fifth.
Ooh.
Okay, no, but let's talk about it for a second. You know when the athletes jump on the anti-trans bandwagon and are like, "Oh, they're doing this, da 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 da," da," and it's just like, babe, 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 you weren't even in the medal conversation. Have you noticed how overwhelmingly in women's sports, athletics, anything, it's never the chicks who come third, second, first. It's never any of the chicks who get bronze, silver, gold talking. It's always some cow who couldn't manage fifth or sixth. It's always somebody who was at the back. Like, I
Sorry to
remember,
say it.
no, but genuinely, no, because think about it, and that tells you everything. Because I've recently started getting back into being a gym rat. Okay. And you know how the gym rats are. You know how those athletes are on the amateur level, even at the professional level. They're very much like it's all about your attitude, it's about your mentality, mind over matter. You have to think like a winner, you've got to visualize that, all of that bullshit. Yeah. And this is the one time where I think, okay, do you know what? It's actually genuinely fucking valid. Because notice the bitches that win, what's the difference between you and them, huh? Them bitches don't care that another bitch is trans. They're like, nah, come and have a go then. If you think you're that bitch, I'll beat you too. And what? And maybe if you beat me,
Yeah.
that's a sign for me to go and get better. That means I've got to train harder. That means I've got to give it everything. They're like, yeah, I'll take all comers. Whoever. Come on then, let's go. The
The
chicks that get the medals have that attitude.
Did you see that the other day as well though? Because there was a darts championship somewhere, and like one of the
Mm.
darts players was like being lauded by the transphobes because she was like, "I'm not playing against this trans woman." And it's like, guys,
Nobody cares about your darts. Oh my
like, well, I
god.
mean, first of all, who gives a
You
shit?
mean
But like,
you mean
really,
archery for lazy people? Fuck off.
you mean tiny archery? Whee! But
You
like, it like the thing is,
fool's archery.
tell me what the like biological advantage someone's gonna have with darts. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
You,
hun.
And
what are
it's
They
you
like,
already did it
doing?
with chess.
that's
The
exactly what I
minute
was
they
going to
did it with
mention.
chess,
Like,
as soon as they did it with chess, everything was open. Everything was fair game as soon as they did it with chess.
the
Don't get
thing
me
with
started.
As
that,
soon as they did it with
the
chess.
thing that pissed me off the most about the chess thing was the chess federation was literally like, well, men have a biological advantage for chess. And it's like, the
The
only thing that
chat
they can be
don't.
saying is that men are smarter, and transphobes were like, exactly. And I'm like, this is why we call you the real misogynist, because you're saying that women are intellectually inferior. I don't know about you guys, but when I play chess, I'm not like lifting the pieces like they're made out of fucking the center of a fucking brown dwarf. Like, anyone can play
Yeah.
chess.
Chess is the only sport I have opinions on. All other sport, I'm an abolitionist for. I just don't think we should have any of it. I don't think anyone should
Give
have to
us
be
your chess
included in.
opinions.
I don't think anyone
Give
should
us your
have to
chess
play sports or be
opinions.
included in sports. I think actually we should all be excluded from sports. Um,
Fair.
but
But you said this is the only sport
the
about which you have opinions. Give us your
my
chess
opinion.
opinions.
So it's the only sport that I watch live streams of, particularly when it comes to
Ooh.
championships. Um, the way that they classify, like, so you have grandmasters, and then because of the FIDE ranking that you have to get to the point of being a grandmaster, there are so few women who are at that rank that they've created another one that's like international master or something. But it basically means or women's international master. But the amount of time that they've had this stuff around, like the people who are really, really like in the top tier of chess have been like born playing chess. And like they've got a family that have basically raised them doing nothing but chess. And that's not happened for most women who go into it. Like the
Yeah.
way that it's one of those ones where it's like, I don't think that men are just I mean, I will say people who are very good at chess do just have odd brains in some ways. I feel like all they're doing is chess. Like that's literally it. But
Yeah.
it's not a biological advantage, right? It's just that they're like, well, we need to got to give the women something. But like, it is one of those things that if you don't do it from like being born, you're never. I think like people like have a peak age for chess as well. Like you can age out of being good at chess. That's crazy. But the idea of being like, oh, there's a disadvantage, like we can't have an unfair advantage having trans people playing chess. The Chess Federation overall, I've got all kinds of different beef with them that is completely not suitable for this podcast because it's incredibly boring. But it's like the way that it's like, oh no, you're a women's international match. They like give you a little one, and I feel like if the chess people come after us on this, if we get cancelled by the chess fans, I don't care.
Oh
Let them chant. They're
no!
all tired.
Listen.
What are you gonna
Oh
do?
Please come
no.
back,
What are you gonna
chess
do? What are you
people.
gonna do?
Listen,
What are
what
you
they're
gonna do?
gonna do
Play
about
chess at
it? Do you know
me?
something? Do you know
Throw your
something? I
tiny
challenge
archery.
them. I challenge them to checkers or
Chess
drafts.
people.
That's my
Chess,
game.
Can you imagine
chess
we like
people.
we all meet up for a drink and then we step outside the bar and there's just a bunch of people with chess pieces, like fucking Sailor Moon villains, and we're like, right, okay.
Just
Okay.
cooking in the street like it's West Side Story.
Throwing tiny darts at you. Limp, limp
Riding their
wristed
tiny
Philly.
horses after us. Diddly, 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 diddly. Wait, I've got to go left. Oh no. Diddly, 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 diddly.
Honestly, do. Yeah. To be fair, I'm not. I'm
See?
not too intimidated by the chess people in this world. Like, I feel
Nah.
like they let them come,
Because most
and
of
the
them
darts
can't
people, they can
fight.
get it as well. Darts people,
Most of
chess
them.
people, Jimmy
Do you
Carr,
know what? Do you know
all
what
of
the
them.
big thing?
Let
But this is the
everybody
big
come.
thing.
I don't care.
This is the thing, though,
You're
as
like
well.
Jon Snow, ready to like fight the horde.
The fuck this week.
But this
That
is the
Tilly
thing
lady,
as
that other
well.
Tilly lady, all of them.
Have you guys noticed though as well that like, and this is established, but that transphobia is the gateway drug? Because I noticed that
Yeah.
Graham Linehan was saying this week that it was okay for that stupid twat Sarah Porchin to say the racist bullshit that she said, and I'm like, isn't it weird how bigotries have comorbidities? And it's like, isn't like that feeds into a bigger mindset of thinking Reform UK is right about everything, including the ECHR bullshit.
Oh
Mm,
my god.
Sarah can get it also.
So
Yes.
for the uninitiated in the audience, because they might be at varying levels of like having found out about the ECHR thing, let's just give us the rundown on
They
the
might have been here
ECHR
for the
thing
chess
for
stuff.
it's true. So for people who, who are only really down for chess and don't know much about the ECHR, give us the rundown.
I think they'll have left
So
by now.
So when it comes to the
Hey, you don't
ECHR,
know.
the ECHR in its inception was made after World War II to prevent more atrocities like the Holocaust happening. And we have our own, basically, in 1996 or 1997, Tony Blair copy pasted the information that's in the ECHR's charter that they protect and made it into the British Human Rights Act. And the problem that we've got in the UK is that people are convinced that we need to pull out of the ACHR to deal with mass migration. But I want to play a game. I want to play a game with you two. I want you to
I love playing.
guess how many times since 1980 the ECHR has overturned a case to do with British immigration.
It's probably shockingly low.
It's in no times.
It's in
It's not
single
no
digits,
times.
isn't it?
It's not in single
Is
digits.
it? Okay,
Oh,
okay,
fucking
okay.
hell, we got to get out then.
12.
Little bit more.
Ah, okay.
14 then is my first guess.
Little bit more.
15?
17?
One less than you just said, Tariyé.
16?
16 cases they have said yes the British, but let's just be more specific. 16 times they've said yes the British government has failed in their due diligence and has sent someone away when they shouldn't have, and has allowed the
Mm-hmm.
person to come back. 16 times since 1980. The number of cases that have reached the threshold the ECHR needs is 28. So 28 cases, 16 of which have been brought forth, and we got told, yes, actually, you did breach this person's human rights. That's what they want to pull out of the ECHR for. I'm sure it's nothing else. I'm sure it's that we might, in the next 30 years, we might have another 16 or so people in the UK because we breached their human rights, and it's nothing sinister, right? There's also the fact
Yeah.
that it's
I
linked to
mean,
the Good Friday Agreement, but
it's probably nothing. It's
Yeah.
like like with the police protest powers getting increased. That wasn't anything sinister, right? That was just
No.
normal.
That was
no,
Or
just
I,
like
good,
deregulating.
clean
I,
fun.
I for one
Law
Deregulating
thought,
is
and
always,
order.
I think, in favor of innovation mainly.
yeah,
Just
I
innovating and
so
innovating.
with the British police, what I love is this routine that we're in. This like it's almost comforting now that they'll go, well, the police need more power, and then the press goes, here's a bunch of investigations we've done that prove that the police hate black people and gay people and women and transgender people and people that don't actually work for the police. And then everyone goes, oh my god, that's terrible, and the police chiefs go, we're really sorry, and then nothing happens, and then a
Mm.
few months later they're like, we need to increase the police power, and then the press are like, we've done more investigation, it turns out they hate even more people, they've actively been mocking dead
Oh my
people in this
god.
group chat, and everyone's like, that's disgusting and things have got to change,
Yeah.
and so the cycle continues.
My
Mm.
favorite is how our government fully jumped out of the window to rally against the police powers that they themselves granted them. Like you
Mm.
were saying, Sneaker, in this whole like
Mm.
regarding this whole Maccabi Tel Aviv thing, we're proper late on this because we already like chatted about it, and it's a week or
This
two
is a
out now.
mid-frequent podcast. We have a lot to catch up on.
But literally, like seeing everybody just jump out of the window on that in the name of Maccabi Tel Aviv, and it's like, babe, you like, because Keir Starmer of all people, like, this is the wrong decision. Shabana Mahmood, this is wrong. How dare they? It's like, Shabana, they briefed your office a week before. Your
It,
office was briefed a week before about this, and they gave you the details. And then Keir and them being like, this is wrong. It's like, well, babe, these are the powers you gave them. You gave them these powers. You endowed them with the power, and now you're upset that they're applying them across the board because they happen to have ensnared some of your favorite bigots.
but they didn't. But that's the thing, Tariyé. They gave them the powers, but
It's
Yeah.
like, but hon, you were
use
supposed to
them
use them against like black and brown people and anybody that was, pro Palestine, but like,
at
leave
least
everybody else out of it.
It
they
like
were like,
how
yeah, no, keep us safe. Mm.
how embarrassing
Yeah.
was it as well? Like, it genuinely, I can't believe how cluster-fucked this government is. That, like, 3 days they were like, this is a disgusting decision that's filled with anti-Semitism that stops Jewish people from
And then
coming and watching the sport.
literally
And then
the
immediately
following
it
Sunday,
was like, oh, there's been a massive riot that's completely fucking.
hon,
I'm like, oh my
oh my
god.
God,
I'm so
Davy,
horrified.
it was even shorter time. It was like Thursday night coming into Friday morning
Hmm.
when everybody was like, how dare they? It's anti-Semitic, da da da. The Sunday evening.
It's
Wrap
like,
it
but
up.
this conversation like is driving me a little bit insane when it comes to like this is anti-Semitism, and I'm like, anti-Semitism is real and dangerous, and I don't know about you two, I see it literally all the time on social media at the minute.
Oh
I
God,
see
yeah,
people saying
yeah.
we owe apologies to the Austrian painter. I see people say, like, every time something bad
Mhm.
happens, people will say it's Jewish people over and over and over again, and I'm like, that's
Oh,
real and dangerous. But going, can we not
and
have the massive thugs coming over here who are known for chanting about raping people in the street? That's, if that's anti-Semitism, you're equating that with Jewishness, and I think that that is the anti-Semitism actually.
no, but
Mm.
this is the thing. It's also that
This is the thing. Podcasting.
You did the
hey,
thing.
I should have tapped my mic.
title drop. But the
Ruined the
thing
audio
we're
immediately.
sorry, what was I gonna
This is
say? Something about yeah. The thing is, a lot of people don't know this, or rather, it's one of the, I guess, milder instances or more insidious instances of anti-Semitism that does flies under the radar. It's the term globalist.
Oh
A
god,
lot of
yeah.
people don't know that the term globalist is code for
Mhm.
Jewish people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so I'll see so many people saying, oh, the globalist this, the globalist that. And I'm like, literally too many times to count. There's anti Semitism. You're right. It is everywhere. And I'm seeing it everywhere based on the things that I actually know for a fact to be anti Semitism. Like people chucking that term around all willy nilly. But
Mhm.
then all of a sudden it's, how dare they? How dare. And I'm just there thinking, could you guys be a little bit more subtle in
I think
your false flag operations, please? Because it just
that's
feels
it.
like that's
Yeah.
genuinely what it feels like. That's what it felt like to watch all of it unfold. Because even when all of that came out, even when Israeli police banned it and told both Hapoel and Maccabee, like, right, call this thing off. If you can't stop fighting in the streets, fuck it. Like, and even when that was happening, so many people doubled down across our government, across our media. Um, and I was just looking at them thinking, oh no, you lot straight up want them over here. You lot want them to come over to Birmingham,
Mhm.
stop over in London, cause a little bit of havoc, come to Birmingham, terrorize the local community because it's something like 400,000 Muslims that live in Birmingham.
Mhm.
Terrorize whosoever they find on the streets because that's the MO. Finding anybody that looks Arab or Muslim or whatever in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
streets to attack. And then you want to then start, I don't know. It's as if they've like pre-printed all of the first pages and all of the lies of
Mhm.
like a the local population started beating Maccabi Tel Aviv. How dare they? How could they? I could literally see the wheels of it turning because this is literally what happened. This was the playbook from
Mm,
Amsterdam last
Hmm.
year. Everybody saw it. Even the reporter who had grabbed video, even the people who were on the streets, who weren't even necessarily reporters, who were just grabbing their phones and documenting what was happening on the streets of Amsterdam when Maccabi Tel Aviv were like running riot across the street,
mhm.
and then a bunch of people appropriately decided to push their shit in as well to defend everybody else that they were attacking. And this was the thing. They this was the narrative. They were like, "Oh my god, they orchestrated a Jew hunt. It was a pogrom. It was this. It was that." And it's like, no, no, hun. Even the people that were there on site taking the video, they told you what was happening. They told you who those people were. They told you what had started it. They told you who incited it. They told you everything, and yet you're still insisting that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this was what the I think I don't know. I feel like this is partly why I'm struggling to make educational stuff at the minute because
Yeah,
I feel like it's so obvious now. Like it's been obvious, right? Like it's been obvious for ages, but like having like them literally coming out and being like, I am horrified about what's happening with the police. I'll be asking them to change everything, and then going back. That's Keir Starmer. Thank
I
you.
know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
couldn't get it.
Spot
That's
on, spot
going
on.
like went out, did his little dance, and then immediately was like, okay, oops, went back in and was like, okay, what nefarious thing can I do now? And it's like genuinely don't what how do you like when you get to a certain point, how do you make educational content explaining that? Because it's like I feel like I used to be able to go like, oh well, this is like where some of these ideas come from. This is where some of this comes from. And now I feel like I'm like, I don't know. Do you not like sometimes when people lie really obviously, it's because they're evil.
Yeah.
Is that an
Yeah,
do we need that walking through? Like, I feel like I keep
we
just being like,
do.
you can get it at this stage. I don't know what to say.
I
How do I
know, but
explain the evil people are being fucking evil again?
It's like
Ah,
I read a really interesting article the other day that was about Morgan McSweeney had a meeting with a bunch of the Labour Lords, and apparently
mm,
the Labour Lords were just like, "This is a fucking disaster," because Morgan McSweeney was like, literally like Baldrick was like, "I've got a cunning plan, my lords," and they were all like, "Right, but your plan is to keep doing all of the stuff that's not working and is bad. Are you gonna like
yeah,
try to not do that?" And it's like, this is what like it's for such a long time, my content has been focused on right behind the scenes. There's these people who are like, their plans were, let's instead of appealing to the left and the center, let's appeal to the right who are pissed off with who's usually represented them. And now they've won some of those people over temporarily, lost them again because the press isn't on their side, and they have like they're the diet version and the full fat versions right
such a
there, right?
mess.
And it's like, how
yeah.
do you explain to people their plan didn't work and they're still doing it and it's stupid
It
because
doesn't
there's
make
like
sense even in an evil mindset. Even
I
trying to
saw
be like, okay, if
someone
I was evil, what would I do? I'm like, that's dumb.
I saw someone the other day who I used to know who was like a content creator for Labour, and
Yeah.
he was like, I mean, I just, like it just, they must be doing something bigger. And I'm like, no, this is what you don't understand.
No.
There is no bigger plan. This is the plan. Their plan is we've
They're big
decided we're going to
idiots.
do this and we're going to keep doing it, even if it doesn't work, even if it screws things up. And
We're
literally,
gonna
it
get the
was
money.
like
We're gonna
it
go.
just bounced off his head. It's like, I can't accept that because you don't understand. I've always liked Labour and they've always been the good guys. And I'm like, babe, things change. They're shit. They're bad. They're the bad guys. They're appealing to the
Yeah.
bad guys. The bad guys don't like them because they've got more evil bad guys that they can vote for who have like more of a
Yeah.
charter. Like
Someone who's better at being evil.
yeah, like. But this, like, sorry, I'm just going to jump for a second. But this is the other thing that annoys me when it comes to the right. They've got this like fucking positive smorgasbord of options in the UK. You've got Kemi Badenoch talking about pulling out of the ECHR. You've got Nigel Farage talking about pulling out of the ECHR. That fucking coward Keir Starmer apparently called a vote tonight to say, should we pull out of the ECHR? And Labour, oh no, Nigel Farage did, and Labour abstained. And the big thing that annoys me
Tonight.
is, yeah,
Yeah, the
I
vote
just read
was
about it on the way
tonight.
back,
Oh
yeah.
my
But like,
The
god,
vote
these
was tonight.
systems.
I knew the vote was tonight, but I did not know that Labour abstained.
apparently, I do need to double check, but I read that from two people, including
I'll
Zara
check now.
Sultana.
One sec.
But
Hang
the
on.
thing that really
Let's
bothers
have a
me is
look.
they have all of these potential options, And it's like much like the US election, when Harris's campaign pivoted to be like, "Are you a Republican but you're sad about Donald Trump? Vote for us." And it's like, I think that they would rather vote and be an embarrassed Republican who don't like the president but are glad that Republicanism wins than voting for a
Mm,
Democrat. That's literally like what's happened here. They got the Conservatives out because the Conservatives were bad. They've carried on doing what the Conservatives did that made people hate them, and they're like, why are we losing? We're doing what people wanted. No, you are the pale imitation of what they want. They like these people want Farage, and you're never going to be more Farage than he is. Like
So
that's where
pale.
we're at.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, MPs voted down. The only common. This doesn't say.
Who was it? I'm not seeing a
Sorry.
vote breakdown, but it's saying 154 votes to 96.
It was like a 10-minute. Nigel Farage needs to get the fuck out of here, man. I wish
I
he'd just take his
just
shit and go. Like, why are they? They keep fucking bothering everybody else. Like, don't be that Sarah Potchin as well with her horse face foul cow. Like, I'm sorry, it's very using a lot of gendered insults here, but at the minute, but feeling very annoyed by these people. Um,
yeah.
but her super posh, married to a businessman, had a special interest in the construction industry, lives in Cheshire, and is like, no, I'm going to make everybody else's lives shit instead. I'm not going to just enjoy the fact that I've got all this money. Like 87% of people in the UK have said like the biggest issue is cost of living. People can't afford
Yeah.
to pay their fucking energy bills. It's cold as fuck. It's wet as fuck. It's miserable. Why do you have to also just turn up and be like, and also, I've got a thought. Shut the fuck up. Go be rich elsewhere. Have a bit of shame with it.
It's that they want, it's as if they want this kind of strange reality where
Mm,
they want to continue not serving people. And the thing is, there comes a point where things reach critical mass where it's like, no, no, you're going to actually have to start serving the public. You're going to actually have
mm,
to start enacting policies that actually help people because it's getting dire out here.
mm,
You
Or
know how we
people will start
talked.
revolting in the streets if you don't. And
mm,
which is the idea, which is what we hope, but whatever. But whether or not they actually will is another issue. But and it's a case of they've reached this thing and they're thinking, okay, yeah, so it's as if they've realized we're getting to a point where it's a critical decision needs making. We can actually serve the public, or we can keep giving them bread and circuses. And bread and circuses in this like formulation of reality so far is it's the immigrants' fault, it's black people's fault, it's all of these other things that aren't to do with anything.
mm.
What
Because they know they don't have, because they know that if they don't offer that, they're going to actually have to come up with solutions, and they don't want to come up with solutions, or rather they know the solutions but they don't want to enact them because that means their rich mates will have to be not as rich.
I think it's
So hard
even
for
in
them.
some cases, I think it's even more insidious than that. Because if you look at Farage and the Conservatives are the obviously perfect examples of this. And I feel like I'm insane that I have to point this out all the time. The Conservatives were in power for 14 years. And throughout that 14-year period, our quality of life got worse. We lost basic rights that we had. And also, one of the big things that happened was Brexit. Nigel Farage was in charge of that. These people have a credible record of being the people that go, why don't we just fuck everything up? And then we fuck everything up and everything's bad. And they're like, oh, well, clearly this is the
Somebody's done
immigrants and small
something.
boats, and somewhere in there's wokeness. And I'm like, how can you morons keep voting for the people that do the bad things, that propose the bad things, that propose things that they never even do, but they tell you that they will, so that they can cream more money out of you? And then you're like, oh well, this is obviously wokeness, and I'm like, you're doing it. It's you. You keep voting for the things that make things bad.
Nigel
It's because a
Farage
lot of
sitting there like he's
people,
ruined everything. But our education system's been fucked in that time as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like
very
our
true.
education system's been stripped.
yeah,
All of these, you remember? Like I was like just about to go to uni when they were doing where you could do like the even going to college. You got like that reimbursement for going to college if you were
Yeah,
in a low income
mm,
family. That's gone.
yeah.
Doing like student exchanges gone. Like all of the stuff that they've tried to narrow people's worldview so much to the point that it's like then like and they have to get weirder and weirder with the people they're blaming because they're running out of fucking people.
Yeah,
Like, I
they
imagine
are.
we'll come back around to Eastern European people soon. But like, I thought that was the problem. At Brexit, they were like, no, we want an international network of people, and now they're like, oh no, why don't we have European people? This doesn't make any sense. Like, they're just having to get
Yeah.
more and more strange with it every single time.
It's also because they're banking on, I guess, the British public's centuries long history of cruelty or just simply not giving a fuck. Or this thing of, well, yeah, I know it's shit and I know it's horrible. And yeah, this is a miserable situation in which I'm currently living. But so long as somebody else exists who has it worse, who I get to
Mm,
kick shit on as it's worse for them, I'm all right.
Hmm.
Because like I say, British people as a body politic are the wrong kind of selfish.
Yeah.
hmm
Because I'm the kind of voter who, if it comes to electoral policies, if it comes to right, get in the booth and vote about what you want, and I look at the policy, I'm like, I want things that benefit me. Now
mm,
other people will kind of get to the sticking point of, yeah, but if we have to give this to you, it means that other person has to get it as well. And a lot of people go, ooh, I don't want them getting it, ew, yuck, I want
mm,
special treatment, I want to be fine and this person to be ground into the muck. And
mm.
I've just never been that kind of voter. I've always been just like, well, I don't care. Well, so and so has to have it too. I don't care. Does it mean I get less? No. Okay, then I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
Not bothered.
Mm.
Really not bothered.
Yeah. Oh, it's so dumb. Like, it's just,
Yeah.
there was a study came out the other day that, like, including, like, sort of like 87%, not 87, 83%. I'm saying 87 because that was the other stat earlier. Like, 83% of the population are in favor of the government investing pensions into renewable energy stuff,
Mm.
because
Mm.
at the minute, like, a lot of our pensions are going into, like, Raytheon and the like. Um, and that includes, like, it was something like 73% of reform voters are in favor of that.
Mm.
Like, whenever you look at stuff to do with
Mm.
climate change and like renewable energy and protecting the
Yeah.
countryside and environmental protection overall, reform voters support those things generally. And yet the Reform Party continue to be all about the anti-net zero shit. Richard Tice got shipped to Manchester the other day to complain about it. Um, it's so obvious now that they're like, we actually fully are not representing the things that people in our party care about, because we're getting all the money from the fossil fuel companies. And it's so brazen that it's like, I don't get how you can possibly look at what they're saying unless your will to be racist is so heavy. It's so heavy in your heart, you're so desperate to be it, that you're like, I will literally ignore how clearly these people hate me for the sake of them getting money. I will vote for them in the hope that, as an offshoot of them getting more money for doing things that are going to make my life worse, we might also get to be a bit racist in the meantime. It's not. It's like
Mm.
trickle down racism. Is that when? Where do you think this is going to get you? It's mental.
I
Yeah.
They
think
are.
But
They don't
this is
represent
the
anything.
this is the frustrating thing about that kind of person, though. And like the best parallel I can give you is the pandemic. Listen, not to
mm.
be a dick, I don't give a fuck if you want to go out without a mask on, you want to catch COVID, you want to end up choking to death on a ventilator. I think it's a stupid decision. I think it's sad that you're taking up that space for someone who tried and got infected because of other people's carelessness, right? But ultimately, you could make that decision, and if it only affected you, all right. But it doesn't. These people's politics always bites everybody else in the arse. When they did Brexit, I
It
was
has
like,
to, right?
look, it doesn't it doesn't really make that many bones to me. Like, I don't want to live in the EU. I was potentially thinking about it. It's more complicated now, but I could still do it. But like, I was like, this is going to impact us on a nationwide basis. It will shrink our economy. It will make our industries tougher to use. It will make it more difficult to sell. It will make it more difficult to import, which will push up prices, which will make poorer people's lives worse. And they were literally like, oh, well, we need to be out from the tyranny of the EU. And I'm like, so yeah, there's problems with the EU and the way they operate and stuff like that. But that's only something we can change if we stay in and negotiate the terms. And they
Mm,
fucking pulled us out, and now we have no say, and our economy's shit, and everything's wanker. And it's like, you did that. And this is the same thing again. Okay, you guys want to vote for the guy who's saying, well, the Muslims. And it's like, okay, then you'll get the guy that says the Muslims. But the thing is, he's talking about the Muslims to distract you from the fact that he keeps fucking getting all of your money through his fucking cameo and his gold bullion bullshit and all of the other crap that he does. He gets your money because he gets you to pay to go and see him and to listen to him. And you guys keep giving him money, and we all keep getting poorer. It's not just you. If you want to get scammed, then go for it. But we all suffer as a result. It
Yeah, stop
drives me
making it my
Yeah,
business. Stop making it our
this is the
business that you're
thing.
fucking everything up. Like,
I know.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the fact that we're just not getting it, guys. Like, people just aren't getting it. Like, every time, if you keep letting, don't like I think at this point, I used to always be in favor of paying loads of tax, right? I used to be in favor of
Mm.
like paying loads of tax because I think our social care, healthcare, education all need support. Not police. Never been in favor of them getting really any of my money. But
Yeah.
the more you learn, you're like, oh, actually, the government are just spending all of our money on fucking private contracts and the army.
yeah.
So, not actually that keen on paying that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
but I know that in the situation where there's a government, if there was a government that I trusted, chance to be a fine thing. Talk about that in a sec. The It's getting to this point where like they're like, we need to break free from the tyranny of the EU brackets evilly. Like, I get that maybe you
Mm.
did. There are problems with the EU. I don't think the EU is very good. I kind of really feel like the Remain people who are still doing it need to, like, we've got to move on. Like, we've got to move on from it now, guys. It's over. Like, we
Mm.
need to do other stuff. But the like when you're like, I want to leave the EU, but for progressive reasons, and then the person in charge of it's Nigel fucking Farage, and he's basically going ha 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 as he's revealing his plan. Maybe he's not the one
Yeah.
who's going to help you with that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
This
not a
is
trustworthy
why.
person.
Yeah, I never trust. This is what I could never understand when there was that whole cohort of like left wing leavers or like labor leavers,
They
and
call it
I
Lexit.
was, yeah, something like that, and I was thinking, you guys keep talking about workers' rights and all of this, babe. The EU
Where?
laws actually help a lot of workers' rights. Like the reason it's not so much worse is because a lot of EU legislation is holding a lot of it together with duct tape,
Mm. I trust it.
right?
I
Is
trust it
making
more
up a
than
lot of the shortfall,
yeah.
right? This is the thing. This is what paying into things like the regional fund gets you, because they're like, why are we paying all of that money? It's like very specifically for things like the regional fund to take up the slack of governmental neglect. It's that they realize, oh, these local authorities and the governments that oversee these areas are not doing the work that they're supposed to, and this area is getting neglected. So we're going to take some of your membership fees and pump it back into the local area to make up the shortfall that your government won't do because they're lazy, or because they've been motivated not to, or they've been actively disincentivized from doing it, or anything else. And I don't know. It really tired me out having to make that make fight the fight on hang on
She
to
said
fight that
she
battle on
tired.
both
Gone.
fronts. It was really fatiguing having to fight a battle on two fronts regarding Remain, of like dealing with all the right wing people repurposing anti colonial talking points like, oh, the tyranny,
Oh,
Independence
that's
Day.
so
And I
right.
was like, and you know something? I feel the same way now. I felt the way about that then as I do now about like French people crying about the jewels being
Oh,
taken
the
from the Louvre.
jewels.
And they're just like, oh no, our heritage has been stolen. It's like, oh no, really, your heritage was stolen?
Oh
Oh no,
no.
Oh
que
no,
Those
terrible.
those
that's a
jewels
shame.
that you
Oh
That's a
extracted from
terrible
an
shame.
African country through blood, sweat, and
oh my
tears of
god.
other
Ah,
innocent people.
but you
Oh
don't
no.
understand our heritage,
Where did
our
the jewels
history,
go?
our heritage. Oh wow, your heritage really was stolen, taken from you, huh? Wow,
I
you
wish
feel
I could have
okay?
stolen
No,
those jewels.
really? Wow.
Let's steal more
Oh
jewels.
wow, so terrible.
Get more jewels out. Steal them all.
Speaking of
That's
jewels
my next
and
move.
politicians that we trust, let's talk about Zach Polanski.
It was a seamless transition.
Yay!
Oh no, wait, hang on. I thought we were gonna save him last. There's the shitty one in.
Oh,
the
shitty thing.
the tattoo to do
Oh
first.
yeah. Oh shit. Oh, that was such a
Oh,
good transition as
fuck.
well.
Yeah,
I wonder if I could
I
just sneakily
I
swap
mean,
the
know.
it was.
sections out.
Do you know what? Let's do it. Let's go with Zach Polanski and then end on nothing.
End on the shit thing. I don't think my heart can take it, Tariyé.
Oh, okay, fine.
Putting a pin
So,
in it.
guys.
Speaking of shit things. Don't worry, David, I
Speaking
got this.
speaking of stolen heritages, how about we talk about the creepy American politician who's got a fucking Nazi tattoo, and for some reason a bunch of leftists are like, yeah, but how about that?
I also, can I just say, I actually don't know what this is.
Okay, so
Okay,
a
so
guy called Graham has been running. I think it's Graham has been running for a position as a senator. I think in
yeah,
Maine. And he
yeah.
he did a blinder of a social media campaign at first. I was following him on Instagram for a bit, and he was like, I'm a left wing Democrat, and we're gonna like take this place by storm, and was like saying all this really good stuff. Yeah, and then
Sounds
it turns out
enthralling.
that he had a Nazi tattoo on his chest.
On his chest.
On his chest.
Mm-hmm. He
And
got it in 2007, and he only just recently covered it up.
a bunch of people, instead of being like, well, we don't want to have a Nazi representing us, or even a reformed Nazi, because he still was a Nazi, a bunch of people were
Who
like,
worked for?
well, he says he's sorry and it was a mistake, and also it maybe wasn't a Nazi tattoo. And it's like, hey guys, I know that you're desperate, but maybe if you're desperate enough to be like, maybe we should ignore the Nazism, that is indicative of a wider problem in your politics.
He
Yeah.
said he didn't know it was a Nazi tattoo.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
he
said he didn't know at the time of him getting it, and then only recently, like, found out, which.
it's not true
I've made
either
a mistake
because
because I'm.
it's not true either because a bunch of people were like, yeah, we told him that was a Nazi tattoo, and he was like, oh, okay.
Exactly. And also, the guy is a veteran, and like he did multiple tours of Iraq,
Hmm.
first with the US military, and then
Mm.
with Blackwater. He was on guard at Abu Ghraib.
Oh my god.
He literally would post on Reddit about how he wished he had been there during Vietnam
Yeah, that's what he
on the
said.
side of the US military.
Yeah,
Wait, this same Graham.
yeah,
Graham Plattner.
I feel like
that's it.
the Nazi symbol thing is like that's like a positive fucking story to try like pull away from the other fucking thing. What the fuck? Talk about being at Abu Ghraib.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And people are trying to do this whole thing about, oh, well, he was a veteran. Our system really doesn't care for veterans. It's hard for them to get jobs, which, do you know what? All of which would be fine because let's talk about it. The military is known for exploiting people's poverty to manipulate them into serving. We know this, we
Mm,
understand it, fine. Taking advantage of the fact that people are desperately poor and wanting education, wanting housing, wanting. We know and understand this, yes?
mm-hmm.
Graham is privately educated. He comes from money. He didn't need the money to go. The money is not why he went. He was not one such person who was poor and manipulated into serving off the back of his desperate poverty. Okay? He went because he wanted a sense of adventure.
A sense of
Adventure. He says he wanted to go for a sense of adventure. Now, see, I would be with everybody doing he was a veteran, he was this, da 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 da, the military exploits, because you know what? They manipulate and exploit people who are desperately poor to
Mm.
use their poverty to strong arm them into serving. They do it. They do it. And if he had been in one of that number, I would have been like, you know what? Fine. Guy was dirt poor, needed money, wanted education. Fine. But that's not the case.
Do you know what it
I've added
really
Graham to the list of people who can get it.
good? Do you know what it really smacked of for me as well? The way that people are still trying desperately to rehab him and defend him and stuff. Do you know what it really reminded me of? You know all of this stuff with Burkina Faso. Like,
Yes.
so glad about the decolonialism and stuff, but when they're like, actually, we're going to make homosexuality illegal and punish people with prison, that's a horrible thing to do. And the amount of leftists who were like, well, sure, it's bad, but decolonialism. And I'm like, listen, decolonialism is vital, but when you're like, but I'm willing to pay the price of gay people going to prison, like that tells me that you value some people's freedom and not everyone's. And it's like when you're
And
in such a
also,
desperate position that you're going to back something that's like, well, some people are going to have to suffer, or maybe we elect the Nazi guy. That tells me that the problem is much bigger than what's going on in that moment. It's a political clusterfuck.
and
Mm.
also, it's not really also there's not really anything decolonial about homophobia, babes.
Exactly. Well, that as well.
Being a
I read
And it,
homophobe
so
or a queerphobe isn't exactly decolonial. It's the most colonial shit you can do,
yeah,
actually. It's very colonial.
there's a
yeah.
really
And
interesting article
the thing
floating around at the minute about that.
Yeah, and the thing that really irritated me, that really stuck in my craw over this was people like Emma Vigeland and like the whole lot of like the majority report, all of them doing the oh well so many people like how many young guys at the time got these tattoos and didn't know how many people had, and all I'm hearing is well everybody had that phase, everybody had no, it didn't. I was
No.
telling David before we finally got on stream. I've always been hashtag friend that was too woke.
Uh-huh.
Always. I was an annoying little. I was annoying with it. Everybody else thought it was annoying. Like so, this is why I can't bear people who do the whole thing of oh, people think we on the left are really joyless. They really don't like this. I'm like, you are weak. You are
Mm.
weak. You don't want to bear the social consequences of being this annoying person. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to need you to develop a little bit more fortitude and backbone over it. Okay? You
Mhm.
are weak. Okay? Everyone's like, oh, well, people find leftists annoying. Yeah, so do other leftists. Get
Oh,
over it.
so
Everybody's
annoying.
annoying.
We're
I've
so
been
sick of
annoyed.
it.
I have been annoyed for the last 20 years of my life.
But also,
Okay?
join us. Join us. It's fine. But not the chess people or any of the people on my list.
No.
But it's not. People say that the left are so judgy and idealistic, and what? Just because you've got a short list of people who can get it, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're unfriendly. All of a sudden it's like, oh, we have to debate people. Why? Why is this not working? Is my list not working? God,
Do you
I
know
got
what
like
though?
100 views on my last video. We're
And they're like,
fine. We're doing
oh,
well.
you leftists and your purity politics. No, babe,
Mm.
it's not purity of politic. It's consistency of politic.
You and your
People are
purity
calling
politics.
on
You're getting
you.
it too.
People are calling on you
Drop my
to
pen.
action the politics you espouse. How dare you call
See,
on me to be consistent in the application of this thing?
do you not think though as well that this fits neatly in with that whole theory of liberals? With like liberals want the social benefit of declaring that they're progressive, but they don't actually want to do
Mm,
any of the progressive stuff. And it's like the
yeah,
I want to be seen as a likable person who cares about people, but God, don't ask me to do the work for it because just so much.
yeah.
And this fits perfectly into that.
Yep.
Like,
That
yeah,
was my theory about why liberals are like that. It wasn't actually my theory that you're talking about, I don't think, because it was a half-baked theory on TikTok. But it was that I was saying it's the people get to the crunch point where they've been saying the thing that they think gets them the social reward for their decision making.
yes,
Because in all the
exactly.
Mm,
films and stuff, when you're a kid, you're supposed to do the nice thing. But then in the films, there's always a point where it's like, oh, but not like this. And then
Yeah,
everyone's a
yeah,
liberal. Like, but the when it gets to a point where you're asked to follow up on the things that you're saying and you can't, and people then you then lose that social capital, and you realize that you can get that social capital from the same amount really, but just from the racists. You're like, well, I
mm,
mean, the racists are just going to give you the social capital even for just being horrible. So,
yeah.
and you guys are making me do stuff. That said, I do think there's a weird thing at the minute that I don't know if I'm starting to get quite paranoid about the amount, like the way that the like these democratically elected like people at the minute, like Democrats I mean, and like these new labor and like politicians and stuff, I feel like they're trying to get more and more into the shape of seeming like something left wing so that
Yeah,
people will enjoy it,
mm,
but they're not actually, they're still not wanting to actually back up the shit that they're saying. Like
yeah,
Richard
a little
Bergen's
bit.
always saying like, I disagree with this. It's like, Richard, leave the party then at this stage.
yeah.
This is the
So,
But
thing. And
re- no, you
yeah.
you go.
And
Sorry.
so
right.
many people, sorry, so many people keep harping on about with Graham this thing of, well, he's grown, well, he's changed. It's like, has he really? Because, babe, a really big part of the growing and the changing is being called on to accept the fact that the people you harmed might not want to fuck with you ever, even in your redeemed
Mhm.
state, and nevertheless committing to walking the path. Understanding that, yeah, I've grown, I've changed. It does not entitle me to leading. It does not entitle me
Mhm.
to a leadership position. It does not entitle me to public office. It does not entitle me to an elected position. It entitles you to none of these things. If you like, find Jesus and become brother Joseph, Mary of our perpetual, whatever. But anybody that was
Could do.
harmed in your in from your prior iteration is perfectly within their rights to see that and that, well, that great for you. Stay over there away from me.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot of
Uh,
it comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of Christian forgiveness.
Yeah.
People like to look in the Bible and see Jesus saying, I say unto you, forgive even your enemies. And what a lot of people woefully fail to understand about that passage is that the forgiveness isn't for them. It's not allowing them to skate on consequences for whatever it is that they've done, because they're still very much believing that, yeah, nah, God's still going to judge that person. They're still going to have to render account for the harm they've done. It's not for you to mete it out. It's not for you to carry out. It's in God's hands. But then also it's more a case of for you in terms of relinquishing whatever power that harm has over you and cutting the tie. That's what the forgiveness is for. It's saying, okay, yeah, this person harmed me. Yeah, it affected me. This forgiveness isn't really for them. This is me relinquishing the power that the harm has over me and saying, you know what? You have no power over here anymore. This tie between us, I've cut it. That's what the forgiveness is for.
Mhm. I think, yeah, there's like, I feel like with this, the only thing that I'm wary of is that what you were saying there, Davey, of like when there's people who are actively always enjoying when, like, there will always be people who will criticize when, particularly anyone who's seen to be like left wing at all. There will always be people who are just really excited to see someone fucking tank
Mhm.
because they're
Mm,
like we saw it with, not go into your party, but like when I made a video about it, and there was a whole little crowd of like money bags little liberals that came in like, exactly, that's why I've always hated Jeremy. And I was like, oh God, not you. I didn't mean you. And I feel like with what I'm trying to pay attention to at the minute as well is like when it comes to these, for example, like people like this Graham, right? Imagine in a world there is he didn't know it was a Nazi tattoo. He says there's politicians that will come out and say something that is overtly anti-Israel, and then the next thing that will happen is that a clip will be surfaced of them having done something fucking shit, and it's still shit what they've done, and it's still something that needs to be like, again, the people can be angry with them, people can turn away from them, they don't owe people their support. But I'm starting to get kind of nervous about the way that the liberal side of things, and also, I mean, just basically like mass media, is taking advantage of that
Mhm.
and being able to go like, well, you guys, like, I mean, it's elite capture again. I'm talking about elite capture again. The whole
Of
idea of
course.
like the co-opting of these different issues. Of course, I'm talking about elite capture. I think it's literally
of
here,
course.
but like, it's the way that they are now being like. I'm starting to be more. I'm trying to be really aware with this sort of stuff of like who's enjoying it. Like, if Keir
Mm,
Starmer's coming out and saying that something is despicable, I'm like, I don't really. Is it? Is it actually good because you're horrible? But then at the same time, we're trying to kind of now. It's why the social media stuff is starting to, I think, piss me off a bit, because it's like I feel like I genuinely can't get a read on how much of the internet is dead
It
and how much
mm.
of
happens.
it is actually people.
Do you guys find it happens when you mention the World Economic Forum? Because I don't like the World Economic Forum because it's essentially a lobbying
Yeah,
group for billionaires. So I'm like, I
yeah,
don't like the World Economic Forum because people, like just before the election, delegates from the World
Mm,
Economic Forum went and lobbied Rachel
yeah.
Reeves to never tax the rich. They were like, it's a bad idea,
yeah.
it'll shrink the
Mm.
economy. And so I don't like the World Economic Forum. And so sometimes on videos, I'll be like, well, the World Economic Forum's bad. And then you get those people that are like, yeah, because they want to vaccinate us into 10-minute cities. And I'm like, no, 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 no,
Whoop whoop.
Oh
no.
my God,
Right
yes.
point, wrong information.
Oh
I did
my
when I
God,
made that
so
meme
true.
about doing a coup. I made a meme about how funny it would be to do a coup with like the Mario and Luigi meme, and then the
Yeah.
Jan Sixers got it.
Yeah.
The Jan
Oh,
Sixers turned. Everyone had been like, "What's everybody wearing to the queue? This will be fun." And then the Jan Sixers, they turned up and they were like, "You don't even have guns in the UK. You won't be doing anything." I was like, "Not you. I didn't mean you. Now I'm on like a
oh
watch
yeah,
list again. Like I
yeah.
can't keep doing this." It's like, well, we made an error. We made an error. I should have
Do you
been more
know what?
specific in my
Yeah.
framing.
Do you know what I remember?
Not you two.
I
What?
think it was early last year, or it might have been late the year before. No, it was early last year, just when I'd recovered from that illness. I joined a writers group. We'd like met every Wednesday evening in a bar in Leeds, and we'd just sit and we'd shoot the shit, and then we'd get on with our writing for an hour, and we'd sit and then we'd talk about what writing we'd done and blah blah blah. One day, this Greek guy joins, and I was really excited because I fucking love it when I can be like, "Oh, kalispera, tikanes, blah blah blah." So he sits down, I realize he's Greek. We start chatting
That's
in
Greek.
Greek. Yes, and he was like, "Oh, so like, what do you think of everything that's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I think it's disgraceful. I think that Labour is essentially becoming authoritarian." He was like, "Yes, your government is becoming authoritarian. You have to be very careful. It's very clear that blah blah blah." And then he was like, "And what do you think of Elon Musk?" And I was like, "I think he's a twat." And he was like, "Oh, I think he's brilliant. I think everything he's doing is good." And I was like, "Oh, you think Labour is bad in that way?
Oh
Brackets.
Okay,
It's the
no.
well,
brackets. It's the
that
brackets
Oh
evilly.
yeah, I
no.
literally it was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I was like, I finally get to meet someone I
I
can speak
know.
Greek to and speak politics to. It turns out you're a fucking moron.
I
Just, I
know.
also hate
It's
Kisama brackets evilly.
Yeah, like there's I hate Keir Starmer, he
Me
needs
too.
to do good
Forward
things, and there's
slash.
I hate Keir Starmer. I once got told he was
Do
socialist,
more
and I don't
bad
know what
things.
that is.
I want him to
yeah.
be worse, in fact.
I've had so many conversations like this. I'm even struggling for an example. Oh, I remember I was having a conversation with someone and I was talking about when I'd gone to the theater. I was on my way to another play and I'd mentioned having watched The Tempest on the West End. And I had gone on the night that Just Stop Oil got on stage and forced a show stop. But here's the thing though, people were booing, but you must understand this production of The Tempest was so sinfully boring that Just Stop Oil getting on stage kind of saved it for me a little bit. So people were booing them. I'm like, what are you booing for? It's getting interesting.
I think
This
they
is
were booing the
we've been
show. They were just like,
bored,
we've just hated all of this.
right? And
Why
so
are you
people were
booing?
like, get off the stage. And I'm like, hun,
Come
them
on.
it's not gonna save this production any, okay, babe. Maybe let's let them have a crack. See what's up. See what's up. And so, but then I had mentioned that in this conversation, and then this person was like, "Oh, all of them with their protesting and like the wind farms, the wind farm." I'm like, "Oh God, what's wrong with the wind farms?"
Oh,
And
what's
he's
wrong
like,
with the wind
"You
farms?
know, the turbines are run on diesel." I was like, "Huh?
They're running
What?"
on wind. Gang, they're
He
running
was
on
like,
wind.
"Yeah, you know when they stop sometimes for ages, it's because they've run out of fuel." And I was like,
Gang is wind.
"Uh huh,
It's when it's not enough wind
right,
that they don't
right,
blow.
okay
Shockingly.
then." Just and then he started going on and on and on about the farmers, like oh, that's why I support Jeremy Clarkson and them shutting it all down. And I'm like, but you just said you had a problem with Just Stop Oil shutting things down. So is the problem that we don't anyway? And then he's like, yeah, with the farmers, they're paying them to not grow crops. I'm like, you sure it's that our climate and soil are just not conducive to certain crops,
Helps to
babe?
rest the land. It's overfarmed land often.
Right? Because this is perhaps because no one talks about the fact that the UK is perhaps the most ecologically blighted stretch of Western land, barring like the States. It is
Ecologically
genuine
blighted. That hurts.
It's
ecologically really
true.
quite blighted in
It's
terms
not
of
that bad,
just
guys.
in terms of our wildlife, in terms of our flora and fauna, like so much of the
Oh
land.
yeah, the
Like people
flora
keep
fauna
talking
wise is
about,
pretty bad.
yeah, people keep talking about, oh, the open fields, the green space, the greenery, the greenery. It's like, babe, it's dead. We used to have deer. We don't anymore. There used to be wolves and bears. There aren't anymore.
There was
We used
that.
to have much more forest coverage. We don't have it anymore. It is gone.
There was
This
that
is you made
thing.
me cry.
There was a thing.
I can't have
I
already.
in college I read a thing that was like way back, like a long time before Britain really became like the way that it is now.
30
It was
years.
it was so
Mm,
heavily forested that like a squirrel could
yeah,
walk from tree to tree all the way from the east to the west. Like they wouldn't have had to touch the ground.
yeah.
And look at the way that it is now. Like we fucked it. We fucked it, gang.
Mm. Red squirrels in trouble. Grey squirrels fucked everything over. Also,
Exactly.
don't get me started on them. The real enemy,
Yeah.
actually.
Bastards. That sounds
Not sure
absolutely
about that.
fucking awful. And speaking of
I
the
know. I will
opposite of
try and like.
speaking of the opposite of things that are awful, Zach Balansky.
Whoa!
Yeah, look at that
We're here
transition. Way.
finally.
He's done it.
Pew, 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 pew,
He's
pew,
only gone and done it.
pew.
Woo, woo, woo.
I knew you could do it. I knew how to in you.
You're
Indeed.
so smooth.
Yeah.
Sorry that I tried to interrupt you doing it.
I was telling Tariyé while you were off doing things.
Indisposed.
Having
Indeed.
a massive shit.
Exactly. So
I'll never tell.
my friends live around the corner, and they went out a few weeks ago. They'd gone out to their car, and they could see people filming, and like everyone was like, "Oh, that's weird," and then they, went on their way to work. The next day, they went out. They were filming again, and they were like, "We'd have to ask." So they like sidle over, and they're like, "Excuse me, what are you guys doing?" And the guy turned around, and it was Zach Polanski. And my friend got to be like, "Oh my god, I literally joined the Greens like a couple of days ago." And she told me, and I was like, "I'm excited for you, but also
Yeah.
just
That's
before I moved in,
great. But he's just a
Yeah.
guy. He
he's
just
like,
looks like a guy wandering around.
yeah, but he's
He's
like
just one of the
Batman,
people.
just fucking appearing in Rachel Reeves's constituency to film stuff. I'm like, fucking charming.
He is. I've noticed. I know. I'm appreciative of his social media thing.
Oh my
As I
Oh
god,
think,
yeah,
yeah.
I feel like as
We
we'll all
all
do.
are.
Like I'm like I've sold out instantly. He's followed me back. Instantly sold out. I'm
excellent.
like, I'll support the Greens, whatever they do. And that's why I think the Greens are perfect. They can't do anything wrong. And I don't think any of their supporters look a bit wet. But as soon as like, it's like every time I'm like, I'm glad that you're doing all this stuff on socials, but you really are moving around a lot, doing a lot of videos. And I'm like, shall
Yeah.
we, how have you got there now? Like every time I see him pop up, he's like, I'm in this location. He's like, I'm over here now. I'm learning about this. I just want to talk to people. Like,
I'm
I'm
just
like,
waiting for
okay,
him to like
Honestly.
appear behind you, like fucking Bloody Mary. Like,
yeah.
and that's why
Now
I'm
I'm over
here.
here. That's why
No, but
I'm over
did you
there.
guys ever hear of the cartoon Where is Carmen San Diego? It should be
Yes.
Where is Zach
Where's that
Polanski?
Polanski?
And it's just him like
He'll be like, I'm in Scunthorpe. I'm at the fish market in Grimsby. Like, all of a sudden, I know I'm in Milton Keynes. Like, he's just in these random little bits being like, I think it's great. I just love it. All the
fantastic.
time.
The thing is, it's just like I
He's
think
doing
the
well.
the big thing that's really good is having a politician who's just like, yeah, I think things are crap, and I think that we can do it better. And
Mm.
Yeah.
like, it was one of the reasons why I really started to have a lot of esteem for Labour under Corbyn, because he would go on TV and they'd be
Yeah.
like, "Well, what's your position on this?" And he'd
And
be like,
say,
"It's bad." And like that was so refreshing to have a politician that wasn't like, "Well, when we refer to the figures," or like every fucking time a conservative's there and they're
Yeah.
like, "Well,
what
things
I
are
want to talk
terrible because
about.
of this Labour government," and it's like, yeah, and also the people that were in charge for
Yeah.
13 years before they came along.
And
Oh, I remember Jeremy's first thing.
I
You go.
greatly appreciate Zach's commitment to just being a sassy bitch, but not just a sassy bitch, a sassy bitch that is both gainfully employed but also so jobless. I love it so much
Right?
because of his social media
Okay, you know he's
presence
getting the train everywhere. He's getting the train and bus everywhere he goes. He's got to be. He's been
all
on the
the
bus for 4
time.
weeks. He's just on the
Yeah.
bus. He's probably cycling. He's
Like,
yeah.
I like him for the same reason I like Nicola Coughlan. Same thing from like Bridgerton. She talks about, yeah, I'm actress and I have a job, but I am also terminally online with the rest of you. And it's like, yes, yes, my kind of jobless. And it's
Mhm.
the same with Zach Polanski.
It's like
It's so
speaking of
so
green and terminally online, it always
And
made me laugh when when it was obvious that Cynthia Erivo was in Wicked, and like anytime
yeah,
anybody was like Cynthia Erivo, she'd be like, "What?" in the comments. It was
Yeah,
so
she was in
fucking funny.
straight away.
I
Zach is
love
in
it
every
so
comment
much.
section.
He is. I
And
like
it's not the
sometimes I'm
comment
like, I
section.
want attention, so I'm going to retweet him, and then I do, and he retweets it, and I'm like, yay!
Yay! And it's also the quotes. He's a very sassy quote tweeter, you see,
Yeah.
because there'll be like a snippet of some of these, like, I don't know what to call them, like British commentariat, very much a dumb person's idea of a smart person, threefold for the times doing a podcast, and oh, just we're just so really like posh, we're so superior, despite the fact that we are completely terminally wrong about absolutely everything. But and they'll be like, oh, he's not the Green Party's not green anymore. They're more red than green, and that's supposed to be their idea of like cutting political commentary. And Zach will like quote tweet it and be like, "You see this bollocks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
This
so funny.
bollocks!" Like, I'm
I
just like,
like the
and I love it. I love the fact that he's just committed to being rude and mean and nasty. And like, something? Cut the shit. Yeah, it's on site, and yeah, it's bollocks. What?
I like the
Mm.
one that he said to because Jeremy Clarkson did a column about him, and he was like,
Yeah.
"There's lots of things I could say about this knobhead, but just join the Greens." And I said something like he didn't obviously didn't retweet this, which is a shame, but I was like, I'm not being funny, but the guy that looks like Shrek painted pink can't really come for people for their looks because again, he was talking about Zach's teeth, and it's like, hey, so I hate to tell you this, but people can have like teeth that aren't perfect and good political opinions. You have bad teeth and bad political opinions, Jeremy. Maybe sit this one out, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are, I do. I think yeah. Zach seems to be like it. They're still playing a game, right? And I think like I know that a lot of people are excited that it's like he's being very real, and I think he is. But I think
Mm.
he's still playing a game, but with a practical function at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's doing it well at the minute. I
Yeah.
don't know how far it's going to be until something is like the thing that
Yeah.
comes up as like a way to discredit what he's doing, and
Yeah.
it'll probably be something pretty heavy at some point
Yeah.
because he's good. But
Yeah.
I think the way that like the fact that he said it's not just I don't really like the whole kind of burn thing, like with the Zia Yusuf stuff. Like people be like, "Oh, he clapped back," but like I'm kind of glad that he did. But he's also bringing in, he's normalizing saying this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like actually,
And
just saying it in the public space
yeah.
is important.
Yeah.
So I really, really like that from
I
him.
fully get it. And I understand why, because I guess because we're so used to like the way our political figures act and comport themselves in public. And it's very much like there's an expected manner in which they're supposed to communicate when the public can
Mm,
see them. And but the thing is, I feel like it's been game over for that ever since people tried to crucify Gordon Brown for calling a bigot on the
Yeah.
hot mic.
Oh my god, absolutely.
I think
horrible
that's been
woman.
over ever since. Because remember, like there was this woman who like he'd gone on a constituency visit, and like this is back when he was prime minister, and
Yep, go
literally
back.
this woman is just chatting, like all this xenophobic shit. Of just like, where are they all fucking from anyway? And then
Mm.
E is like he's talking like like he doesn't know that the mic is still hot, and so he's just like, she's such a fucking bigger, like, and everybody melted down to
He
the ground.
he
They
called
were
her a
like,
horrible woman. He was like, "Oh,
Bigoted
that
woman, yeah.
horrible woman,
Yeah.
yeah,
bigoted
like that
woman."
horrible bigoted woman or something. And everybody melted down. How dare he? How could he? This is not how a prime minister should behave. This is not how a senior politician should comport themselves. And so, and the thing is, he's tapping into the same frequency that's getting a lot of people to support Nigel Farage, whether we like it or not, because so many people, when you ask them what exactly is it that they like about Nigel Farage and reform, but specifically Nigel Farage, it will be, well, he cuts through all the nonsense. Well, he just speaks plainly. Well, he doesn't dress it up in all
Tells
this
it
la di
like it
da
is.
language, etc., etc. They love that. Of like, he just says what everyone is thinking. He just tells it like it is. And the thing is, Zach being a sassy bitch is tapping into much the same frequency as that, of just like
Yeah, yeah.
guys, it's bollocks. It's
Mm,
bollocks. You know it's bollocks.
mhm.
I know it's bollocks. Like,
I
and
saw
it's on that same frequency.
I saw a guy today on Blue Sky being like, I don't understand why people like him. It's really obvious he's really
Oh,
insincere. He used to be like a really red liberal type, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but so did I for a while. And the thing that I like about Zach is whether he means it or not, he's saying the right stuff. And that's what really matters to me right now. I need to hear someone saying that stuff. And maybe he doesn't mean it, but ultimately, I have to be able to hear someone saying that kind of thing right now. Because for years at this point, it's been there's been nobody saying this stuff in the main political sphere. It's always
Yeah.
been the same trite, rehearsed, like, hackneyed
Yeah,
garbage.
it's a you need to feel validated
Mm,
in your assessment of the situation. It's
yeah,
it's like it's this thing of seeing so many things, seeing how ridiculous a lot of things are, going, wait, am I taking crazy pills? They can't really genuinely expect us to swallow this. They can't possibly. And somebody comes along and is like, yeah, this is nonsense.
yeah.
Your assessment is correct. This is nonsense. You
Yeah.
know?
Is it reductive? Maybe, but I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I've wanted to hear someone say, listen, what you're saying is crap for a really long time.
Yeah.
And here he is. And it's like, the thing that really bugs me
Genuinely.
is we had an election last year. It's probably several years
Mm,
into the next election. And we've already got the
mm,
Labour dick riders being like, well, you have to vote Labour, otherwise reform. And I'm like, it's a long time away. And I'm telling you now, I've got someone saying, here's stuff that you really want to hear and policy that you might really like, even if it's not perfect. And here's this party that's actively said, if you don't like the way we've gone, then leave. We don't want people like that. We're going to say it's like shaking off the fleas. We're following the advice of someone who's obviously on the right. And I'm like, gee, guys, this is such a difficult choice, you know? It really does my head
yeah.
in.
Yeah. So many people are tied to so many people are tied to, I guess, upholding the two party system that
Mm-hmm.
they forget, because I think the only people now who are alive that remember the time when Labour wasn't the second party are largely deceased, and the few that remember it are like very, very old now. Like very old. Li- because everyone's like, well, it's either Labour or Tory. It's like, yeah, but that wasn't always the case.
Mm,
100 years ago, well, actually, a little bit over 100 years ago, it was Labour or it was Liberal or Tory.
yeah. It,
And that's the thing. And Labour arose from serving a group of people who were not being represented, who
yeah.
felt like they were not being seen to, who were not being administered to, who found themselves recently enfranchised, ready to vote with parties that didn't give two shits about them. And um a lot of people are very much beholden to this thing of oh no, it has to be one or the other. It has to be one or the other. It's like, well, yeah, as the system is currently constructed. But there is a precedent, there is a political precedent, there is a historical precedent for a new party to supplant a second party and become the new second party. And I don't know what's going to happen between now and the next election. It is very nice that they are gaining ground. I will say that. I've just been looking at all of the figures, looking at reform and everything, and people insisting on the foothold they seem to be gaining, and just sweating, and I don't know. Maybe it'll fizzle out. Maybe our hopes will be dashed. I don't know. But for the time being, right now, in this moment, it is nice to see that there seems to be another option. It
Mm.
is nice to see, it is nice to be presented with another option. It is nice to be presented with somebody who sees you.
I think as well,
Yeah.
like the thing that's really gotten to me about this for a long time is it's almost philosophical as to whether you believe that you can vote. Like it's philosophical whether you believe that it's you having to make a decision to vote for someone that might not be your cup of tea to avoid disaster, or whether it's that political party's job to appeal to you to avoid disaster. And I think this is where there's a big split in the UK, because there's altogether too many
Mm,
people who are like, no matter how rubbish they are, if we don't vote for Labour, we get reform. And I'm like, I need you to very quickly grasp that in my head, they're doing a bad job of representing policy that will make me want to vote for them. And even though I know reform are terrible, and if it really came down to it, I would have to make a cynical decision, but it would have to be really bad. Ultimately, If they're failing to represent my interests, if they're failing to appeal to me, that is what a bad political party does. And just on that alone, they don't deserve my vote. And when I have someone who I don't really care if it's populist or whatever right now, I don't care. If I have someone who is saying, this is how I feel about the positions that you care about, and it mirrors at least some of what I care about, why would I then cynically vote for the dickheads who said don't vote for me party when he's saying I'll do the stuff that you like? Like, why is that even a
Hmm.
conversation that people can think that they can have with me?
How dare they? They can get it as well.
You, that was like the Greta Thunberg thing then.
More on the
How
list.
dare you?
How dare you?
Dare you?
Ah, Greta, she's another good one.
Yeah.
That's two on the good list. Hang on.
See,
Yay.
two
Maybe
on the
that's
good
what we should have
list.
been doing all along. A good list. Us.
Woo!
I'll put us on. All three.
Us three: Greta
Yay.
Thunberg, Zach
What?
Polatsky.
Nobody else on the left? Oh,
That's it.
purity politics.
Purity politics. Just my
You
friend.
woke left and yeah, not wanting to throw members of the collective under the bus at the slightest issue.
Just
Oh my
jumping at the
god.
chance.
How quickly those like theoretical leftists are to do that. Oh well, two people that I like said that woke is dead, so I guess we're just gonna have to tell minorities to get fucked, guys.
Just gonna whip it straight away. They're like,
It's
what?
really-
Oh no! Like, we're not even confronted with a decision. Sorry, I'm good. No, not. We don't have time. Hank Green can get it as well because we talk about making a
Oh,
coalition with
Hank
Taylor
Green
Swift.
can
We need to make
also
a
get
coalition
it.
with Taylor Swift. She wasn't even offering a coalition.
Right?
These people are making these. They're like, we're gonna have to do away with this. Nobody's even asked you. They're like, it's gone. We've lost it.
Taylor
It's too late
Swift
now.
sat on her
We've lost
sofa
all the
like
identity.
another million. I'm sure she's really bothered.
Yeah, we've lost all the identities now. We've thrown them all away.
No, but
Nobody
secret,
even asked you.
in that video, who was he shouting at? Why
Who
was
is
he
he shouting
screaming?
at? Why
I
are you
think it's
shouting?
about his own fan base because I don't know. It's like I think he sees himself as having a slight affinity with Taylor in the sense of having a following, having a platform,
Being
and
mid and
feeling
white.
that too, and also feeling very aggrieved that members of that platform that helped him build it are like, so you're gonna say anything about the horrors? You gonna do anything about it, please? Or say anything, or just acknowledge it a wee bit? And saying, you peasants, how dare you?
Stop being so. He thinks he's so. What do you guys think? You're so rude, man. Stop shouting at
I
everybody. Calm
know.
down.
And it's like he's got vim for this. He's got all this vim, but couldn't step to them knitting ladies on social. Yeah, I
All that vim,
remember.
no vigor. All that vim, no vigor. And I called him
Mhm.
Frank times when I tried to address him. So
But yeah, he was so big and bad, saying, "Oh, what do you want to do?" Da, 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 da. Well, some people are at
you
the
guys
protest.
think that
Da,
you're
da, da,
gonna be.
da, da.
You've got to do something. You're
And
lying
I'm like,
down still. You're in
and I'm like,
bed.
sir,
Let's stop
sir,
shouting
please,
in bed.
Hank, who is this for?
Frank,
You couldn't even muster a tenth of this energy for them chicks that called you out about your misogynist video about knitting. You couldn't even call them out. You couldn't step to them because you knew they had you dead to rights.
So yeah, one last one for the getting it list, and he'll be lucky if I accidentally write Frank instead.
Oh my god, is your list a death note?
No, allegedly it's not.
That would be
It's
terrible
How
and
could
wrong.
you allegedly accuse me of that? It's just a list of
not
people.
an accusation. I'm just asking.
It's just a list. It's just a harmless little list, Tariyé. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to everybody who's watched us today.
Yes.
David, close it. Close it.
We
And we
appreciate
most
you
definitely
all.
don't have a death note.
We appreciate and love you all, and you will all survive into the kingdom which we deliver. Thank you again for joining us here at But This Is the Thing, another mental podcast filled with three people who you probably shouldn't listen to, but apparently you want to. And who are we to tell you what to do? All right, go away now. You can follow us on our social media. You can find both Tarrier, myself, and Secret all over social media at our usual handles, which you can see in our names.